Hey guys, I just had an amazing chat with a daughter mother duo, the founders of Hotcha. We spoke about how their chili oil was born, how the name came around, the challenges that are faced by the D2C industry, the difficulties and the advantages of working with family, how the chili oil is now fitting into the new ecosystem within the country, and last but not the least, the weirdest thing you've tried with the chili oil. Do not miss that out. This was such a fun episode. We discussed more about our personal lives rather than business. It was one of the most fun episodes I've done. Absolutely killer. I'll see you guys in the inside. I'm a huge fan of chili oils. At any given point, my fridge will have about 6 different chili oils. But there is one chili oil that I consume minimum once in a day, and that's Hotcha. And I think it's very awesome where a product introduces the person. And I got to know the product first, and then I got to know you, and then you gave me a bigger shocker when you told me that it's you and your mum that are doing this. So I'm actually going to start with you, Anita. Uh, why?
It was a bit of a culinary accident, actually, if you could call it that, because it was COVID, and all you could do was invite friends over and eat and drink. So we were in Dubai, and I have a home there as well. We were having a tapas party, and there were duck pancakes, and my husband was like, "Where's the chili oil?" So I said, "There's no chili oil." So he said, "I'm sorry, there has to be chili oil." So I went off scuttling to the kitchen, used my imagination, put this thing together, and I brought it out. And it was a huge success. And then the next day, somebody called and said, "Hey, babe, that chili oil, just make some and send me." And then the next day, some friends called and said, "I heard there was some chili oil that day. Can I have some?" So these orders started coming in, and Alisha, the little businesswoman in her, worked up and said, "Mom, we got to do this on a bigger scale."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you take over.
So this was born in Dubai?
This was born in Dubai,
Ah.
very much born in Dubai. I mean, I think we've also always been a very foodie family. We've been spoiled with her cooking. She's a fabulous cook. So we've always had that, I mean, I have memories of bustling, and we're a very loud and like gregarious family. So we're all bustling around a dining table and usually, passing condiments. And it's not food for the sake of food, it's good food. So we've just been brought up like that. And I think spice has always been a very central part, like condiments being passed around the table, my dad looking for where's the togarashi or where's this. And so, she'll tell you more about his hunt for like different hot sauces and different spices. But I think when this happened, a lot of things have to align for something to happen. It's not just one eureka moment in the kitchen and a chili oil, which, friends and family like. But this saw some really like tremendous response when she kind of served this out at the party, and we were bored and we were in COVID, and we said, let's see, and let's do a dipstick and let's see if this is actually a gap in the market. So we started looking in the Indian space and in the Indian market, and that time there was no, I don't think there was Nagin, there was no chili oil,
there's no chili
and
oil.
not even on the Dubai supermarket shelves.
Oh wow.
Because my husband trotted off to various spinnies and whatever, but he didn't get any chili oil. It's all started actually after that. So at that time when we had the Eureka moment, there was nothing available.
So your husband does get a lot of credit in this, right? Because if he had not asked for the chili oil, then does
He loves to give him credit. But I think in this one he deserves it.
he deserves the credit,
So
right?
I will say this, that when she says I'm a good cook and whatever, he has kind of pushed me to excel because he loves food so much. So there's always that expectation that next time it'll be something even nicer. Next time it'll be something even more different. Like he'll eat at a restaurant, he'll go to Thailand, he'll come back and say, Bibya, and first be Bibya. Bibya, there was that steamed fish with lemon coriander, make that for me. So Bibya has to be in the kitchen getting the steamed fish right. Otherwise, I mean, what's the point of having Bibya in the house? Yeah, but it's weird because when this happened and then we sort of started looking into the market, we were just shocked to see there was nothing available in no modern trade store. Like at that time, like the Nature's Baskets and nothing
Correct.
available. And then get it at Royal China, if you only at Royal China. So we then started doing surveys and we started like sending out the product to people in small batches. We started looking at whether it could actually be something that would work in the market at the time. But it was still it's still a very nascent category. So it's not like it's really picked up, but like intuition and gut feeling would say India is like the biggest spice market. Like look at a hot sauce shelf in the US. Like it has about 50 brands, of all shapes and sizes.
Easy.
We have the best spices, the best chilies, the palette that's suited to it. Why don't we have a local hero that, is owning the hot sauce space or the spice space or the condiment space in, the Indian market? So we were like, okay, there's something here. But then I think we just kind of slept on it and we just did it in our own. I was working elsewhere, she was doing something else. So we were just not doing it very seriously and with some concerted effort. Until maybe 12 months ago when we said, okay, fine. With various things that happened, we said, okay, this has something, it has legs. Let's pursue this in a.
So where did the name Hotcha come from?
That was me. Actually, I have an advertising background.
Oh, wow.
I spent about 25 years in advertising. Started off with Rikaya, became Grey, then I was in Dubai with Lindas, I was working with Mudra. On the creative side as an art director, but then, later on I started doing copy as well. So my mind kind of works that way. So when we said chili oil, that was the first thing that popped into my head and everyone loved it. So.
And I love the branding. Branding also came from you? Or branding came from?
The design part of it, a lot of inputs from both of us, but
combined, I think.
Yeah, it was combined, and we did use an external designer simply because we wanted somebody with a little distance from the project. We were too close to it.
Of course.
And it was very iterative. We didn't launch with this.
Yeah.
Even Hotcha, our brief was that we wanted a punchy, succinct name that was universal. So if we decide to expand, but it has the hot connotation because we want to stick to that.
Correct.
And then the packaging and stuff was very different when we first launched, and I think you have to just keep kind of changing along the way. So we had a lot of inputs, feedback, went to newer designers, kept changing things, but we wanted it to be this bold, irreverent, hot sauce you can do so much with, right? So we wanted it to be a little bit out of the box and we have this character we call Bomba, who we call our philanthropist, and he's features on most of the packaging. So I feel that we had a lot of fun with because we both love branding and storytelling and creating, that. So that took some time, but we're pretty happy with where it's at now.
So what's one of the biggest challenges that you faced?
Specifically with this or just generally? God,
With
there's
Hotcha.
challenges galore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Startup
challenges
as a
at every
founder.
step of the way, I would say.
Yeah, I feel there's so much right now clutter in the D2C space. If you start something which, at this point in time, even when we were thinking about it, it wasn't as bad. But now you have so much, it's so difficult to break that clutter, even with a good product. With a standout product, you have to kind of still drive trials. But to get that out there, we're funding ourselves, we're bootstrapped, we're doing it in a slow, iterative manner. We're not looking at funding right now, maybe at a stage where we think it would be the right time. But I think just trying to, and we really think we do have a good product and a good portfolio, but getting that to kind of break the kind of clutter there is right now is a struggle. So on many levels. So you have to work on that from a packaging point of view, now everyone says, put the founders first, be authentic, put yourself in front of the camera. And that has been a challenge because we're both not people who go on Instagram and kind of do these reels with so much ease, but we're kind of getting into it now because it's something that I think you just have to do. We have 3 generations in our office. We have a Gen Z set of interns and employees. We have me who's millennial. We have her who's boomer. So we have a clash of this is
Many
what
points of view on it.
fully bullied by the Gen Zs though into what you have to do to kind of that works now within this generation. So I think it's been challenging but a great learning experience to see how that evolution is happening of how you build a brand. Very different when I was with Belgian Waffle Co. Very different now. There's a lot more that you have to do and put yourself out there. So I think that's been a challenge for us. But an exciting challenge. I think we're learning along the way and it's been fun.
How is it dealing with 2 younger generations?
For me, it's been a huge learning curve, frankly, if you ask me. And I think it's nice that we have the viewpoint of someone of my generation who maybe relates to a certain cohort of your target audience. She relates to a different cohort. We have different points of view. We can sort of merge everything together. Plus, I learn a lot from the Gen Z kids. You should see how my vocabulary is.
Yeah, she says things like no cap and all now. Man.
No way.
Something
Skibbity or something. She said
that's so skibbity. And they were all looking at me as if I'd lost the plot. But I enjoy it. I feel it keeps you young, and why should you not know what's going on?
But I have
to confess, I do not understand the memes. They come and show me stuff, and I say, okay, this is meant to be funny, right? But someone explain it to me because I don't get it.
But I have to say, she is just amazing at keeping up with what's happening. I mean, much better than any one of us. She has learned taught herself, how to use all the different AI, like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Midjourney. She downloaded, what is it that you download to this thing, Midjourney, to get Midjourney?
You have to join Discord.
Discord. So this happened because my brother was getting married in Feb, and we were sending out like the save the date, and we were supposed to send it out like the next week or something, and it was a very hurried sort of. And he said, we don't have time for a designer. What do you want the save the date to be? And both him and his fiance are musicians, and they have these very eclectic to this couple who like has very different notions of how things should be. So Sid says, oh, I want like this Miyazaki style invite with us on the beach in Mahabalipuram. And my mom's like, who is going to make this? She downloaded Discord that night, learned how to do Midjourney prompts, and made the save the date. Like that is what she's like.
That is pretty cool.
That's because I get FOMO. I feel like if I don't keep up with ABC, then by the time it gets to XYZ, I'll be like a
dinosaur.
Like a dinosaur. So I must know the in-between parts. So I try and, to the best of my ability, keep up with ChatGPT has changed my life.
100%.
I
Right?
mean,
you can do so much on it.
So much.
So there are people who will use ChatGPT 2-3 times a day, and then there are people who use it 30-40 times a day. Like they use it almost like their second brain, which comes with its own disadvantages.
Yeah.
But I know
It
people
does.
who literally like anything you're doing,
Yeah.
here's a ChatGPT answer. Like
I
people
think
have stopped
I'm getting
Googling
there.
things.
People have stopped Googling.
They've just
Like SEO is not a thing anymore. It's all
so
in the
there's
overview of
there
AI.
is now a LLM SEO. We are working on it. We are working on LLM SEO. Like we are working on getting higher ranked on.
Isn't that GEO now? Generative
I don't even know what it's called. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
calling it LLM SEO, but that's called GEO.
it's now generative. So you have to make sure you rank in the AI algorithm.
Correct.
And then SEO also counts because in the research part of the AI algorithm, SEO somehow features. It's the same thing.
So the other day, obviously, I couldn't resist myself. I went on this thing and I was searching for best lab in country. I was doing all of that stuff. And our name popped up. And I was like, okay, good. I'm like, okay, then I asked the team, okay, like, oh, look, it's coming by itself. They're like, no, it didn't come by itself. We have been working hard on it. I was like, okay, good to know that.
I love
But
that.
SEO-wise, obviously, we are there. But I didn't expect, I didn't even know my team was doing this, which is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
So today, the kind of people who are coming in, for them, this is just natural. It's no longer, they don't have to take an effort to learn it. It's just way of life for them, right? When it comes to building a brand, I think there are a lot of challenges that you would face. Selecting a name, selecting how your product looks, website, and all of that. So the entire creative journey or the brand journey, what was a decision that you took that time seemed hard or difficult, but now it's in retrospect, it's like, that was one of the best things we did. Was it the character? Was it the name, brand name?
I think
that part was easy, I think.
Okay.
In the character. And
that came very naturally, I feel
What was, I think, for me, very difficult is we launched with a certain label and then we decided to change it. And, as an advertising person, I have a horror of admitting that we made a mistake. And she was like, Mom, we have to be iterative. In this journey, you cannot be afraid to say that, okay, maybe that was wrong and we need to correct it. So I think that was for me a bigger challenge, but for her, it was nothing. She said, no, we'll change it. We're not happy with it. Let's do what we need to do.
Yeah, and I think at every stage, I think we had to, glass was a huge challenge. We actually launched with 3 chili oils, but there were, we saw that there wasn't as much of, people love chili oils, but I feel like the hot sauces move much faster. Just because the bottles get over faster, there's a higher repeat value, it's easier to eat. The glass bottles was not something that was easy to deal with. So we took a call to go into PET, which was not something we were maybe as happy with, but we wanted something that was also sort of an easy, user-friendly bottle. And we have this now PET squeezy bottle that people are now very happy with. They say that it's so easy to regulate what comes out and to remove the product. And that was a decision maybe we were iffy about, but we're happy with in the long run. And I think the entire idea of, so we always wanted to make something that we would eat. I'm a very health conscious person. Like I work out a lot. Like I, really think about what I'm eating through the day and what's going into my body. So a lot of decisions that we took on the product front, which were, we will use olive oil in our truffle. We will not use seed oils. We will not use MSG in the chili oil, but we'll still make sure that it, tastes as good. So a lot of those things took a lot of time, but I think, and we were like, should we do this? And cost is going up, and then does it make sense to do it like this? But we were like, no, let's stick to our guns on this because we want to be consumers of the product. And I think that when we did, I feel like now looking back on it, even though maybe we're priced
It was the right
a little bit,
decision.
we're competitively, but maybe the truffle hot sauce is like 500 rupees almost, but it is the best seller by far,
100%.
even though it's double of all the other products. So people want to spend on good quality ingredients. You know, it's not healthy, but at least being mindful about what you're putting into it.
So I think healthier is
Healthier,
the
yeah.
option, because see,
Healthier.
people will finally eat what tastes good.
Yeah.
So if you can make something healthier but make it taste good, it's going to work. If it's just healthy but tastes like shit, I mean that period will last for very short,
Very
right? Somebody
short.
will try that, but after that they'll be like, they will go back, because today
Yes,
the tongue
because
does land up
eating
ruling
is
what
a
you.
sensory experience at the end of
100%.
the day. So unless your senses are sort of excited or seduced by that product, it's not going to work.
Well, I like
Yeah.
that, seduced by the
Seduced by the
product. So I don't think I have a single meal without a hot sauce. And I
Really?
think, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a good thing for you guys. But
Yes, for us,
is
it's
there
very
a
good.
downside of consuming too much oil, chili oil? Because I consume like a absurd amount of chili
Which is
oil.
too much. I want to know.
Yeah,
Too
how
much
much
is
is too
like
much?
4 teaspoons a meal. That's, I think, quite a bit.
It's
Because I
very good.
like really spicy.
Yeah.
So like I go like 3-4 teaspoons, like breakfast. Like I'm having eggs, 3 teaspoons of chili oil.
But if your gut can handle it, some people can't handle it, and your body will tell you that.
Yeah.
Like they'll be
I can
like,
handle
stop.
it. Huh.
You can handle
Then
it. You
you're
can
fine.
handle it. Yeah. And then
Right.
make sure it has like good oil. Make sure it doesn't have like those kind of things you should look at in terms of the
So
ingredients.
how are you highlighting this? So for example, I'm a very regular consumer of your truffle. I did not know it had olive oil.
Oh really?
I did not know this, and it is important for
That's
me.
interesting to
Yeah.
know because
It's-
we thought we put it up front everywhere.
Yeah, we put it on the pack.
It's not
with
being
the-
highlighted. I mean, maybe it's people say truffle and I mean, they're stopping at that. But the fact that it was, because see, by switching to olive oil, you're spending more.
Yeah.
It is a more better quality product. I think you need to highlight it more, maybe.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah.
And I didn't know, and I'm a daily consumer. Like I will not have a salad if it doesn't have truffle.
Really? So good
So,
to know.
Wow.
Thank you. This is what keeps us going. Thank you.
and I've one of my meals is always a salad. So every truffle is like a daily consumption. for me.
Amazing. Okay, no, so good feedback. We will put that up front and center.
I want my daughter to meet your son and his fiance.
Sure.
Wife. I'll tell you why.
What is-
She is very, very musically inclined. Like my son is a complete nerd. He's a national level chess player. He does a model UN and right? And he's really good
Wow,
at that.
national level chess player.
National
Wow.
chess player. So all my
He's very
Sundays are
smart.
chess tournaments. And my daughter has gotten into SOI, which is Symphony Orchestra of India.
Oh.
And she also does Hindustan classical, and she also does Western something.
Wow.
What's her name? If she's in like the music scene, then she may know them.
She's
also.
10, yeah.
Oh, she's 10.
She's 10.
How sweet.
I am not
My
that
God,
old.
she-
Like, dude, like, how old is she? In the music scene? I'm
Orchestra
not
of
20.
India and all. I thought she was older. Yeah,
But
she's
she
a
must be
10.
super
little prodigy.
talented.
Yeah.
And they just started a band at 10.
So
How
this
cute.
is prodigy. Yeah, this is.
So, no, utna bhi nahi. But, no, so this is a very, even though I would not be very up for it because I am very like founder, you have to start your own. I mean, that's unfortunately me. So I'm putting those in their head. However, I know for a fact that she's going to be more musically inclined and that's her path.
But that's interesting you say that because at 18, my son wanted to go to Berkeley School of Music. He had his audition in London. In those days, they never used to audition in India. So we had booked his flight for London, everything was done. And then his results came back from the other 10 unis he had applied to for liberal arts. And he got into 9 out of 10 of the best universities. And then he got a little chuffed and he said, maybe, liberal arts education.
He never said that. You said go.
No, I never did. I never did.
He wanted to go to Berkeley.
I kept it open for him. You can even ask him. It was his choice. And we even went to the US on a whirlwind 8-day trip to check out all the colleges just before his IB exams, and he
Nice.
chose Northwestern. Of course, today he bitterly regrets that he didn't do the Berkeley option because
He didn't know he gets so
what
into
do
the
you
music.
know?
space.
You're
I
not
know.
that.
I know.
So
No, so it's
he's
always
a-
good to keep your, and I think the way things are going today, your education does not determine your profession.
Yeah.
It
anymore.
doesn't.
And it doesn't
it's
go
never-
waste.
I think
Whatever
a
you
good
do, it's-
education is never wasted. So
100%.
Something no
I'm
one
a
can take
computer
away.
science guy at MBA in marketing. I run a laboratory, I run a BPO, I run an NGO, I run a consulting firm, I run a real estate. I mean,
Yeah.
it has
Correct.
nothing to do with
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you do.
It teaches you more than anything a way to think, structure, discipline. That's what you take out of it rather than the actual content, I think.
So like my son is very like he's 100% going into sciences. So he's like, I want to get into Caltech. I want to do this. And he's like 13. I'm like, "Bhai, these dreams you normally have when you're 15,
Wow,
18.
kids
He's
are
like,
extreme.
Yeah, your kids
They're
are
very.
really
and she is like full into music. Like that's why I really want her to meet more musicians.
Of course.
So
and
she
yes,
understands,
definitely,
yeah, hey,
anytime.
if I am taking this path, these are the possibilities. Like if I, so I don't know this. Like this is a side of the world I don't know. Like, if you're a musician, what are your possibilities? Like, what can you do? Like, can you be a producer? You
So my daughter-in-law is from Chennai. Her 10 years ago, she came to Bombay to become a musician. Her parents told her that you go for 1 year and then we'll fund you and then you figure it out. And obviously, in 1 year, what can you do? So she had not arrived anywhere in 1 year. And they were like hopeful that she'll come back and all. She said, no. She stayed on, she funded herself, she did what she had to do, and she is where she is today.
That is pretty
I
cool.
mean, the week they got married on the 2nd of Feb, the following weekend she was in Bangalore to open for Ed Sheeran both nights, Friday and Saturday, or Saturday,
That is
Sunday.
so cool.
Yeah, so she does shows, she writes, she's very talented.
So,
Yeah.
because that's literally, if I fast forward what my daughter is doing now, she's going to be doing this. That would, at least that's what it seems like.
You
And
should definitely make them meet.
And I don't understand that world, so which is a little scary for me. And I want to understand this world
Yeah.
because I'm like, hey, if my daughter's going in this world, I need to know the world. I need to make those connections. I mean, there's
Yeah.
this fatherly instinct kicking in, saying, "Boss, I need to know all
In
the
fact,
whole."
they will give you a very good insight because they both in different branches of the music
Love
industry,
it.
so they understand.
And they have
Love it.
friends in
They've got
all
friends.
sorts of branches
Yeah.
in
Done.
the music
Done
industry.
and done.
Good connect.
By the way, Alisha is a fantastic singer. We have musical talent in the family.
So today,
Oh,
for the
God.
first time on our podcast, we are going to be having live music. So I saw you jamming with the guitar.
Yeah,
I saw that once.
I learned that in COVID
Okay.
online
Okay.
because my friends gifted me a guitar for my 30th birthday. So an acoustic guitar. So I said, okay, let me, I should do something with this. Because I used to sing off and on, like just for fun, like nothing. Like these guys are the talented. I'm the least talented.
Don't point
music-
at me.
Not
Not
these.
these, the-
Not the.
I cannot sing
Sid and
no
Valley.
straights.
But yeah, so I used to do it for fun, and then they gave me this, so I learned, and now I'm actually starting guitar classes next week. And then maybe I will perform
you'll
with my
perform.
guitar once I'm a little bit better. But yeah, it's mostly for fun. I just enjoy it.
So I've been wanting to get into drumming for the longest time, and for the last like 20 years, like anytime there's music playing, I'll be and it just naturally comes to me, and I really want to learn it. I've just never taken the time to do it. I was talking to my daughter, and she just started a band, and so she's like, the biggest thing to move around is a drum.
Is a drum.
So she's a vocalist. One of her best friends plays a drum, but we can't do it at her house all the time. So I'm actually thinking of emptying out this other room, which
And
is
getting a
here,
drum set.
You should.
getting a
Why
drum
not?
set and setting up like
Do it.
almost like a studio. So I asked her, I'm like, if you're going to do this as a career, tell me, because then I will
Invest.
invest in, I will put soundproofing that because you can't disturb the neighbors and stuff. Then
Yeah.
I'll get that room done up properly, and we'll get a full band in there. So she's like, oh, give me some time and I'll tell you. And I was like, so she got into SOI, and can you guess what instrument she was given? Saxophone,
No way.
which I think is one
She
of the
was given in the set.
hardest.
Did you like
no
go in with the?
SOI gives you an instrument
Oh.
after seeing your musicality. So there's a full test, like 200, 300, 400 people audition, and then 10, 12, 15 will get in.
Wow.
So, and she was given the saxophone, and I was hoping for a violin, I was hoping for
But
drums.
sax is a great instrument.
It's a great
I have to
She's
say, it's one of the
loving
sexiest instruments.
It is, really.
Like the music, I love like jazz. Sid and also
Yeah.
love jazz.
Huh.
But like my dad was learning the sax. He ordered a sax
Really?
in Dubai and
Yeah,
was
he
learning it.
waited to get a silver sax. I mean, apparently they're usually gold, but he ordered
Yeah.
some special one which was silver in color. Sitting in the case, he plays the cajon
Okay.
because that's something he really enjoys. You
He's
know?
like
so
good
maybe
at
you should
percussion.
start with a cajon if you're into percussion.
You should get a cajon and like
What
learn.
is a cajon? I'm so sorry.
It's like this box.
It's that thing you
with-
sit on.
know,
It's like
have
a
you seen
box.
someone sitting and
And
playing?
then you play.
Yeah.
In our foundation day, we had clap box. Clap box.
Is it called a clap?
I don't know. I only know it as a cajon.
Cajon. I'll
Yeah,
check it out.
so my husband has one, and when there's something playing, he'll play along with that, and it's super.
It
So if
sounds
you like
great. We have like
percussion,
jam
It's a
sessions all the
great
time.
way to start.
Sounds like a fun, interesting thing that you already have going on at home.
We
like,
have a lot of things musically going on at home.
Yeah,
Whenever
a
there's
lot of
something
times when
happening.
all the musical friends come and jam, and
And he sets up a full system. There's a mic, there's a full drum set, there's guitars.
we'll
and
have you
stuff.
the next time.
Next time we'll call you.
Done,
And
done
we'll
and
call
done.
your daughter for
I
this
will be
music.
an audience. I mean, I'm not doing I'll
No,
just
we'll
watch.
call your daughter to perform.
I can. So these guys who had to submit something for the band for the school, right? So we hired a small little studio, and there's a coach kind of teaching them. And so I go with my wireless mics and the iPhone and all. And this guy is in the music business. He's like, "What mics are these? These are awesome, man. They look better than the ones I have here, those big fat ones." And we actually used my mics, and that came out like
Really?
next level. He was like, "Hey, can you give me the model number? I want to also get these." And so I ended up shooting the entire music video. So they sang Rude, but they changed the lyrics.
Oh.
And they called it Latitude, but to the tune of Rude. And it's like a minute and a half, and I can guarantee it will kill at the school.
How cool
And
is
so
that?
it's pretty cool. So
Very, very cool.
fun. Okay.
We'll get them to meet.
100%.
Yeah.
By the way, this is also coming in the podcast in some way. Or form. To figure that out. Okay, cool. Mother-daughter food business duo is very rare. Mother-daughter business duo is very rare. I understood how it happened. However, now tell me the challenges. I'll start with
say
no.
challenges?
I will start with you. I know she will say. You tell me first.
No, before she starts, I just want to say that we work very well together.
Okay.
One of the joys of doing this business is I get to see her every day.
Oh, so sweet.
Now I can't say anything bad.
Now you can't say anything bad. Damn it.
No,
That's why I wanted you to say
Why do
something
you think I
bad.
said the preamble?
Because if you
Genuinely.
took out the gloves,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
she would have taken out her gloves. Then you won't get this,
Okay, but
motherly platitude.
we're not done with the conversation
Okay,
yet.
there we go.
Gloves
There
are
we go.
coming off.
Gloves are coming off.
No, but genuinely, I feel like we work very well together. I feel like we have very complementing skill sets, and we also just get each other on a wavelength that is difficult to do with other people. I feel like she's the creative, the product person. She's somebody works differently, but she's very similar to me in many ways. I'm the more like practical, get things done, business side aspect of things, and she kind of softens it a bit, and she's got that creative side. I feel like from the get-go, it was not very challenging to work with her. The only thing is she does sometimes keep telling me that I'm in my 60s and you're making me work and you're acting like my boss and I want to go play my mahjong game today and my friends are asking if I'm allowed. And I was like, I'm not your boss. Like, you do what you want to do. But like, just finish what we need to finish. Like, dude, you're master of your own time.
No, I'll tell you what my biggest problem with her is that she thinks that midnight or 1 a.m. is a fair time to send a message saying this needs to be done and what do you think? Now by this time I'm either fast asleep or I'm playing Candy Crush. So that is non-negotiable for me. You can't interrupt me
100%.
during Candy Crush. And
Done.
who
Understood.
works at 1 a.m. and she says, Mom, we are entrepreneurs, we're a startup, we have to work at 1 a.m. So that is one bone of
The hustle
contention.
culture is on.
Hustle culture. And then, she's got this little bit of an HUL background where they only talk in acronyms. So, Mom, these guys are doing an NPS on us and slow down. What does NPS mean? Like, she assumes that I know all of this and I honestly do not. Like a while ago, you were talking about SEO and then that other longer term you used. I didn't say anything, but I have no idea what you were talking about.
No, but in HUL, just to give you some, I started my career with HUL after I graduated from New York. And literally on the first meeting, it was a 1 hour meeting where I did not understand a word of the conversation. And I went and I was very I was a little apprehensive to tell straight out of college, yeah.
Yeah.
I was very apprehensive to tell and it wasn't like marketing jargon. I'd studied like a finance and marketing double major, but this was like some different language. And I went up to my boss and I was like, was I supposed to? And I was supposed to take minutes. And I was like, was I supposed to understand anything I put down? And then he proceeded to send me an Excel sheet with 1,000 acronyms that was specific to HUL. Like they would just use that. They would talk a different language. So I think I was just trained in like saying, they make so much fun of me now, but like it just comes out, those words. And now
Absolutely.
but yeah, that was a different like ball game altogether. I'm not that.
Yeah,
bad.
and then she thinks I have ADHD because I'm very good for my non sequiturs, and she says you're digressing.
Yeah.
So you touched upon mahjong. I want to double click on that. I know it's nothing to do with chili oil, nothing to do with hotcha. Mahjong is taking India by storm. Why is that?
It's astonished me how fast this movement has taken India by storm because it's not like 10 years or 5 years. Or it's all happened in the last 12 months, literally.
Yes.
So it's shocking, but obviously people are enjoying it. It's a way to connect. It's a way to socialize. For people who don't play pickle and paddle like I don't, it's my social outlet. It's a mentally challenging game. It's a fun game. So, but I have actually been playing since I was 10. So I, being a naval officer's daughter, my mother was always in, services. Wives always played this game. So I've known of the game. I've played it sporadically over the years. So I'm actually quite delighted that I have such a vast cohort now to play with.
That is awesome. Coming back to pickle and paddle. Why do you think pickle and paddle took off the way it did? Like it just, like right now, any turn you take, there's a pickle paddle court coming up. There's a church behind here, there's a pickle court. Church has turned their basketball court into a pickle court.
I think one is it's easy to kind of make. Pickle courts are very easy. Paddle courts also not too big in terms of the space it takes, but also I think the learning curve is very flat. As in, it's very easy to pick up the game. Even if you try to play tennis with someone who hasn't played tennis, you will never get a rally going in like the first half an hour of the game. But with pickle or paddle, you just pick it up. Somebody who's played a racket sport once in their life will play for like half an hour and they'll kind of get in the groove of things. So it's always a good game, obviously now there are levels and people have become very good even in
And their
Bombay.
ratings
And their
and-
ratings and things like that. But initially, at least when it started, you could really play with anyone and still have a decent game. You wouldn't be
Correct.
like, okay, we're just running after the ball and we're not getting one good rally. And so I think that is what also excited people. And now I think it's just, I don't know, it's just so much fun. I'm addicted.
Same
I'm
here.
so addicted. Like,
So I started playing paddle last year around May. I was invited for one game and I was first unsure. I'm like, you know what? I haven't played in a long time. I used to play squash for about 10 years. I've played baddie for state when I was in school. But after that, last 10 years, I haven't played any, played any sport. I go to the gym and all that, but I haven't played any sport. So I was like, okay, let me go and try it once. I didn't buy a racket. My friend was like, I have a spare racket, just use that. The minute I went, I think 15 minutes in, I was like, this is it. This is so. I'm sold.
Sold.
Got out, went, bought a racket, came back, not once a week, twice a week. Sometimes if it's a good week, then thrice a week. You get to play. And it is something that I will sacrifice sleep over. Like on a Sunday morning, 6 a.m.
oh wow.
I'll
that's-
be on a
yeah.
court if there is a
Wow.
game. And that talks a lot because Sunday is one day where I will try and get 7 hours of sleep because otherwise I get 5.5 hours of sleep. Sunday is the one day I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep maybe. But if there's a paddle game on a Sunday, 6 o'clock,
Paddle will trump
So
all.
this is
Yeah.
exactly what I mean when I say that if something interests you, you're willing to go to any lengths to excel at it,
true.
Yeah. But I
And-
wonder, is it a good workout? I've always wondered, like if it's
I don't
a
think.
doubles paddle game.
See, depends on again how you're playing with them. So I play with one set of crew where I will be just maybe sweating at the end of the game. But there's another crew I play with that I'll be crawling out of the court.
What is your rating?
Ooh, I don't want to publicly say 3.75.
Oh, that's good.
That's not bad.
That's
This is
very
out
good.
of 5.
This is out of 5.
But
And
it's also like very, I don't know how this rating system works.
What's
also.
yours, Alicia?
I don't know. So I used to play paddle like 3 years ago in Dubai when it started off. That's when I used to play when I lived there and I had friends there who used to play. Then I stopped playing little bit here and there. Now after I've moved to Bandra and I've found people to play with, I've gotten back into it in a big way. So I'll play a little bit and then I'll tell you my rating.
So I think the way you rate is there are certain kinds of shots and can you get those. So and then if somebody is a 4 and let's say I'm not able to match her game, then I'm probably lower. Or he is a 3 and if I'm much better than him, then I'm probably
So
at a 3.
who somebody watches you and then gives you this rating?
It's a
Self, yeah.
self.
It's a
So there are a lot of
self-rated.
people who will rate themselves much higher.
Yeah.
Like, so me and my crew, we are at about 3.5, 3.75. So somebody was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm also 3.75. We're like, okay. The guy could barely serve, and we are like, what the hell? Like, our entire game was spoiled because one guy, because
Yeah.
this is one game where all 4 players have to play. You can't play with 3, you can't play with 2. And for a decent game, all 4 have to be decentish
Yeah.
if you want a decent
Yeah.
game. So,
But I don't know why you'd oversell your score. Like it's embarrassing then if you come
because
and play.
it also acts as a filter for people allowing you in. If he said I'm a 2, we would be like, okay, we'll look for somebody else, right? So
Yeah.
maybe
I
that's
just
the
want
thing.
to play, I don't
Same
care.
thing applies with mahjong. We have beginner, intermediate, advanced.
Oh, there
and
is?
then people come and say, "Oh, I play intermediate," and they don't even know.
What are you?
Please,
I-
if you have to ask this, that was just insulting.
that was
She
really
said she's been
insulting.
playing it since 10. Like, what are you?
Better be advanced.
Yeah.
And of course. But if I ever want to learn mahjong, I know now who to trouble.
Yes, anytime.
And,
Happy to teach.
So I think coming back to business, right? India is a market with chutneys and all Indian this thing. How is chili oil fitting into that condiment segment? Like, are you seeing this as a growing segment? Was it always there? What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, it's definitely a growing segment. So, I mean, the hot sauce, condiments, hot sauce, sauces category is still not that big, hot sauce specifically, but hot sauce is growing quite fast within that category. I think now with like trends of urbanization, premiumization of food, just generally people are more like westernizing their food a lot more, whether it's like with exposure and just generally even cooking at home, like Korean, Chinese, like different cuisines have taken over. It's moving towards that more westernization of cooking patterns and eating patterns. QSRs that have come in, a lot more QSRs are a little more fusion in their approach. So that is kind of building that trend. the whole health trend also kind of plays into it, because people who aren't paleo or plant-based diets or keto will use, and I do that sometimes with my grilled chicken or my eggs, I will use like the truffle hot sauce. You can't just keep eating that bland food. So
Correct.
that adds a little bit with not that much of a cost to it. So I think there's a lot of factors playing into it where people are definitely looking at more than one condiment. It's not just ketchup in your pantry now. You're looking at a lot more. That kind of people know what sriracha is now. People, understand like how to use it in cooking, and there's a lot of education required. It's still niche, but it's definitely getting more into that space. And
I think this is also reflected in what you see influencers doing on social media. Like no longer are they doing that chole recipe and that rajma recipe. They're all doing these, Vietnamese rice paper wraps, and they're doing ramen bowls, and they're doing a whole bunch of different stuff. And these are not like big city influencers necessarily. Okay, so we in fact make a practice of doing as many of these reels as we can, because we feel that educating people and bringing them into the fold is crucial in, see, because there's no clear market leader, or there's no clear category creator in this hot
Space
sauce
yet.
space
Correct.
as yet.
Yeah.
Correct.
So there are like a handful of brands, as you know, who are doing this.
Correct.
So I think between all of us, if they do well, it's good for us. If we do well, it's good for them, because we're all building this category together.
Correct.
So this kind of communication is going a long way towards bringing people into the sauce scenario, as it were.
And you see it with Gen Z, when we do events and stuff, we personally go so we can get some insights and get, real-time feedback. And these kids, college kids, young kids come in and say that I want the hottest one, and what hot sauces do you have? And do you have anything like Cholula? And, they know, like the younger generation. So I think it is definitely growing and building, and that the whole way in which people approach it and are consuming food is changing a lot.
So one challenge that most founders face is they get a great product, they get the manufacturing done either in-house or third party. And then the real challenge comes, because now you have to distribute this product, right? So is your focus right now on tier 1? Is it on tier 2? And how is something like a shelf life is your shelf life of your product also restricting your distribution, or do you have enough shelf life to kind of cover the country?
Shelf life is fine. We have
Okay.
1 year shelf life on
Nice.
paper, but even it is even higher, but we claim 1 year. So shelf life is okay, but distribution is very challenging. And I feel like because now the market is evolved with, now Q-commerce is a no-brainer. You can't be on just e-commerce. You can't be just on your website. You have to be on Q-commerce, and that kind of sucks your blood in terms of the one is monetarily, like commercially it does, but also it's not. A lot of them also don't have their act together.
It's
in
not
a big
very
way.
organized,
So
yeah.
for a small player, you're kind of like, it's a double whammy, because you're paying for storage. They don't distribute internally very well. They don't have anybody you can talk to, unless even legacy brands are not able to kind of crack it with these guys yet, because they are also kind of building their whole
They're figuring it
infrastructure.
out as they go.
They're
Correct.
figuring it out, and we are suffering.
Correct.
So, we just got onto Blinkit, and that's why I'm saying this from like pain points coming out.
yeah.
But yeah, but I think we are focusing on going deep rather than going wide right now, because we have limited funds. Like I said, we're bootstrapped. We're looking at, just seeing if we can drive as many trials. I feel like the Mumbai market with just one single variant of our truffle still has so much room and so much scope. We've barely penetrated anything. So I feel like right now the strategy is not to spread ourselves too thin, even though a lot of the interest does come from tier 2, tier 3 markets. They're very well, versed in this space, and they order directly from our website. We are concentrating on Mumbai, which is our main market. A little bit, maybe the main north and south cities we're doing, but in a small way. Our focus is to kind of go deep. And I feel like distribution-wise, we want to be omni-channel and everywhere. If we get the opportunity that's where, if you have to burn money there, that's where you want to be. Because the whole point, it's the best marketing. The best discovery is to be seen everywhere and to be, at least online. Offline maybe at a later stage, because that requires deeper pockets to really see that journey through in a good way. But everywhere online that we can be, we are now. I mean, we're trying to be, we aren't, but yet. But I think that is a very big challenge. I feel like that.
So I've seen Hotcha and a lot of flea markets. How is that working out? Give me some insights into
That actually
Great
was
exposure.
that was the reason. The first batch we launched of the chili oil after we had this Dubai, experience, was at Little Flea. And we just made 1,000-bottle production, like to start off and see, let's see what happens. And we took it to Little Flea, and it was an amazing response. Like that was the first little flea we did. We sold out all our bottles, and then we were like, okay, and people were like raving about it, like very superlative, like response to the product, and they knew, they were like, oh, I'll have this with my ramen, I'll have this with this. So we were like, okay, this, and then we kind of got that confidence. But the fleas are amazing to kind of for discovery. For generating trials and for getting feedback from customers. So we at least talk to them and we see, what they feel about it. We get real like they try the product in front of us and there's immediate reactions to it. So we learn a lot through those fleas, and they usually, some of them do really well for us, not all of them. Little flea is great. Most of the time, IMC is great. Like there are some that are
so that's why
regulars.
we make it a point for us. Both of us are there personally at some, because I love talking to people because I'm the chef behind the recipes. I like seeing people's reactions, and sometimes they say, oh, this could have been spicy or that could have been this. So they do study the label very carefully and ask you all kinds of questions.
Nice.
The other thing we keep getting is this Jain friendly? So I mean, I did
Well, that's
try
interesting. I
very
didn't
hard
think
to
of
make a Jain friendly chili oil, but without any black beans,
Is this
without
Jain
any
friendly?
garlic. No, this is garlic.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, that didn't seem
No,
very
I
Jain.
couldn't
OG
make it work. I
One
couldn't
of
make
them
it work because
yeah.
for chili oil you need that umami kind
Correct.
of. And I tried with black beans, and then I was told, oh, but they don't eat fermented food. So even that kind of
That one.
fell through. But it's interesting to know what people are looking for.
If you could collaborate with any dish in the world, like you would want Hotcha to be, the condiment for that dish, what would that dish be?
Honestly, I think that the point, we would want to collaborate with everyone's favorites because the whole point is to make like the familiar unforgettable. So we wanted to kind of go with everything, and it is pretty versatile. But I think if you want to keep it local, like, samosas
I'd love to see it being eaten in Amritsar with samosa.
Yeah.
In Delhi, in the chaat
Gullies with
gullies or
chaat
the
and-
kebab gullies, that I would like it to percolate down to that level. And at the same time, I would love to see it maybe in wasabi with sushi or, on a chipotle bowl or
Yeah, collaboration with
something like
Chipotle would be great, like our OG. And I grew up eating Chipotle in New York. I love that chain.
I will kill for Chipotle. So I have
So
a
But
business
see
out of
the
US.
marketing hype. Look at the marketing hype. I was telling Alicia today that Chipotle chilies, habanero chilies, they market it so well in America. But look what we have. We have the widest range of the best chilies, and our whole concept for Hotcha has always been that desi flavor with international preparations. Like even with the truffle, we're using our lavangi chilies. We're using guntur, we're using bedgi, we're using naga. And you go to America, you see ghost pepper sauces on the shelf. Do they know that ghost pepper is a naga chili pepper? Do they know it comes from the east of India? So I feel that the Indian chili marketing story it's not even touched the tip of the iceberg. I want to make Indian chili names a global phenomenon.
So I think nobody talks about it enough. I think that's the challenge, right? When you touched upon Chipotle is something which is very close to my heart. So I was in Austin. My first this thing in US, I was in Austin for about 4.5 years. I think at least 4 times a week, 4 meals a week were Chipotle.
Me too.
Right now, also when I go back a couple of times a year to Phoenix, Arizona, where one of my businesses is. And I will find Airbnbs within, and when I look at the Airbnb, the first thing I open the location on the map, and I'm like, okay, is there a Chipotle in a 1 mile range? If it's
I
not,
love
I
that.
will
That
change over to
is
somewhere where
true
there's
dedication.
True loyalty.
that is true loyalty, right?
But they've got that kind of loyalty. I mean, I love that chain.
The simplicity and that consistency of quality, the quality today is the same I had 20 plus years ago. It's like the McDonald's for, let's say, Mexican food or for
Consistency is key.
like, and everyone has, and I didn't realize this, everyone has a very specific Chipotle order. And I was working with one of my clients, and we were in the conference room and we were discussing something, and they're like, oh, where are you going for dinner tonight? I'm like, Chipotle. They're like, you also love Chipotle? I'm like, I love Chipotle. They're like, what's your order? It's like, what? They're like, what's your order? I'm like, this. Oh my God, mine is this. And this. So we literally on a board wrote out like 15 Chipotle orders, and we were comparing who does what where. And I don't know if it was a thing, and that's a thing. They're like, oh, when you want to know a person, you know their Chipotle order. And I was like,
that's
interesting.
But there's something about
Isn't
you.
that a thing with pizza as well? Like some people, they have their standard. Like some people will do pepperoni, some will do the disgusting Hawaiian pineapple. Then all
See,
kinds.
there you already
the
judged the
Hawaiian
person
pineapple
based on
is something
I've already judged. I'm sorry, I'm judgy.
So that brings me to my next question. What is the weirdest thing you've had with Hotcha?
Weirdest.
Oh, she just made this jalebi.
No
I made
way.
a jalebi chaat and I made Alicia eat it with
It
jalebis.
wasn't bad actually.
And
It
little
was
bit
a
It
of
wouldn't be
little
bad.
bit of sheo
Huh.
and with
The OG hot
dahi
sauce.
and OG hot sauce over it. Oh my god!
I was a
it's so
naysayer,
good.
but it was
so,
pretty good.
I'll tell you. You know, in Maharashtra, jalebi is always had with matha. You know,
Correct.
the tak.
Of course.
So it's not alien to have something savory with a jalebi. But think of it with a little bit of spice added. It just cuts that extra sweetness, and it's fabulous.
And my dad makes a really good Bloody Mary with the OG hot sauce.
Really? So my dad is like literally the best chef in the house is my dad. So he is a global traveler. What I mean by that is 50 out of 52 weeks, 20 plus weeks he'll be out somewhere. In 2018-19, Airbnb awarded him top 10 travelers globally.
Oh wow!
Globally, top 10.
Wow.
And he only does Airbnb, he doesn't do doesn't do hotels, only Airbnb. Wherever he lands, he will drive. No public transport, no trains, buses, drives everywhere. And he will cook all his meals. All his meals. At home
Amazing.
and when he travels. So at home, there is a fridge. When I say fridge, I didn't say fridge, I meant fridge.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is his fridge. So when he travels, he will, like, he always comes back with like an ice box or something where he will have cheese, he'll have this, he'll have that.
Oh my god, he sounds exactly like my dad.
Like my husband.
Exactly like my dad.
And nobody's allowed to touch that fridge. I'm not allowed to touch that fridge. He's like, you want, I'll make something for you. He'll make this. So my kids every weekend, where? With Ajju. Why? And the plan starts a week before. What they're going to make the next
I
weekend.
love that.
And they will make the most exotic things in the world. And now my daughter, she's 10. She's like, other day, she's like, Daddy, can we make, what did she say, sashimi? It's like, really? And this is before you went to Japan. Like 6 months before you went to Japan. And I'm like, where's
10,
the...
she's like, I would never have guessed she's 10 if you didn't tell me and you had told me all these things.
So now, every Sunday, me and she will make sashimi at home. So we'll
Where
get
do you get
salmon.
Where do you get the fish?
Salmon.
Which comes
Just
from out of India or from here?
No.
Off the hook.
Sam's Food.
Oh.
So Sam's Food, by the way, the founder is my paddle buddy.
Oh.
I still don't get any salmon for free, but whatever. I mean, I'm like, what's the use of you playing with us if we're not going to be free salmon? But yeah, that's the profile. And now because of my dad, that's become her thing. Like that's what they will.
That sounds exactly like my dad. Like hunting for
But
pepperoncino.
if you like salmon, I will give you a fantastic hirva kalvan recipe with salmon.
Done.
It's like
Don't give me recipe.
staple in my. Achal, I'll
Yeah,
make it.
send.
I'll make and send.
Yeah.
Not
make it
send. Are hello.
Make and
Call.
invite you.
Thank you.
Sure,
Yeah, I have a
correct.
very bad habit of getting myself invited.
Yeah, we'll do the music setup and the
Music
salmon
setup
same
with
day.
salmon, hirvi, done.
Hirva
I'm
kalvan,
sold.
yes.
You just tell me the date. I'll cancel whatever is there. I'm going to
Okay,
come for
done.
this.
But I love your dad sounds very cool. It's like dad looking for
Yeah,
this pepperoncino and places
Yeah,
like
my
that.
No,
husband-
he will, like, if I ask him today, where are you on 20th of March? He will tell me the place. He will tell me what food he's going to eat. Sitting today where we are. He will know like 6 months in advance.
He's obviously a connoisseur.
He's a foodie and he travels. Like this December, he's taking my son. Both of them are going alone to Italy.
Wow.
Today morning, I had to go to the consulate, to Italian consulate, not for the visa, to get permission for him to travel alone with grandparents.
Oh.
Because you can't leave the country without your parents. He's 13.
Really?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that was a rule.
That's a rule.
13.
With Italy, that's a rule. Funny enough, for Thailand, it wasn't. Thailand, he's gone for the Thailand with my parents and come back. So,
Yeah, I think this must be peculiar to very few countries. because
so
I've not heard of
Italian
this.
consulate, the minute they found out, they said, no, you have to come with parents. There's a legal form you have to sign off saying it's okay for them to go and
Interesting.
which is a pretty cool. I mean, it's good.
Yeah,
It's
but
good.
grandparents should be. I mean, that's like a.
Where is it written that they're grandparents?
Yeah, there's
So-
no certificate that
There is no
they
link
know that.
directly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they had to go and so all four of us had to go and he had to sign us. So this is the first time they both are going alone.
Oh.
And they've not even gone. They're already planning their next trip. So now they're going south of Italy. Then they're like, oh, then we're going to Spain. And I'm
Hats
like,
off
"Arey
to your
bhai,
dad.
Italy to khatam kar."
Hats off to your
Amazing,
dad. You
amazing,
have
very,
this
very
kind of
cool.
vigor and
But he is
enthusiasm.
loving. He is living his life now. Because he's like, I worked hard. And I one day asked him, I'm like, why are you traveling so much? He's like, see, till I can, I will. Because after some time, I'll not be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Makes
so I've
complete
never
sense.
the only time I've seen my dad really upset when the pandemic hit. He cancelled 18 tickets.
Wow.
18. And they're announcing the pandemic ki 2-3 दिन में बंद करने वाले हैं. And my dad is like, hey, I have to go to Korea. Can I go and come? I'm like, you will go. They will not allow you back. There's no chance of allowing you back.
But he's right, yeah. He should. It's just how to
100%.
live
He's
life.
loving it. And
Amazing.
I can't do half of what he does. The stamina required for the planning.
Yeah.
And he, by the way, you'd think he'll have a travel agent.
Does it all
He
on
will
his own?
sit like his
No, but
iPad.
traveling has become exhausting nowadays.
It's exhausting. But the fact he'll say, like, right now I'm planning a trip with my wife and my daughter because my son is not there. He's going with these guys. I'm trying to plan by myself. It is painful.
It is painful.
It is very painful.
It's very painful.
But
If you need help planning, please send it to us. You know we have a travel agent.
yes, I will.
Yeah.
Done and
If you
done.
ever need anything, then just please.
Done and done. Let's touch upon that. How are you managing travel agency and Hotcha?
So basically, Tamarind does a bunch of things. We're a full stack like hospitality, event, and travel company. So we do a bunch of things in the luxury like H&I weddings, celebrations, holidays, corporate services. You know, MICE, you know, the YPOs, EOs, things like that. So we basically, my role is not operational. That's how I manage it. I basically have a role that is more strategic. I'm working on a strategy project for the entire organization.
Love it.
And I do something in the marketing space. So it's because it's not operational, it doesn't require me to be there all the time. I have a team. It's something that, you know, it's very interesting as a project. So I'm loving doing that. It's actually, you know, teaching me a lot and I kind of try and split my time as best possible between the two. But Hotcha is like our baby. So I think that's something that.
And I'm there pretty full time though. I
Done.
go up
No,
and
so
down.
whenever I see anyone doing two things and in a business, I always wonder there should be somebody doing it full time because otherwise, if two people are doing it part time,
Yeah.
the chance of success just reduces like significantly.
That's true.
Right. So having that focus that you're bringing in, I think is awesome.
Yeah, no.
But we are trying to learn delegation now from people like you. So
Yeah,
I think we can manage to do multiple things if you delegate
I have
right.
not learned how to.
If you hire right and delegate right.
It took me a long time to be able to figure out how to let go. And the thought was very simple that if I want to do more, which I did, I had to let go. And it's all here.
Eventually, I guess it is. But I feel like, you know, I've gone through life in stages. Like I've done my advertising career. Then I had kids and I couldn't go to work full day. Then I was working in Tamarind for a while. And that was when, you know, websites were just coming up. And then I learned how to make a website. And then I made a website for Tamarind. And then that phase lasted a while. And then Tamarind became really big and didn't need me anymore. I was doing design work and stuff. Then I started writing books. And I've written about
What kind of books have you written?
fiction.
Oh, cool. That's so cool.
So the last three I wrote was a Indian mythological fantasy trilogy, which I'm extremely proud of.
It's
It's
very,
very,
very
very
cool.
close
What
to
is
my
the
heart. The overarching title is The Guardians of the Blue Lotus, Aryavir, Sitanshu, and Ambuj.
There is after this is done, I will tell you why that is very, very interesting to me, but I'll come back to that.
So,
And,
but coming back to that story of, you know, when you come out with a product and then you have to distribute it, the same thing happened with me. I'm very good at what I do in terms of the writing and whatever, but then the marketing part, you know, publishers don't really do much for you.
which
So I
is
chose
which is very sad in the country.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then COVID hit. And just when I was in discussions with various people for making a serial, because I've written it with a serial in mind. But then it kind of took a backseat when Hotcha started. So I don't think I have that thing in me to be able to
Do two
multitask and do too many things at the same time.
No, it's tough. It's
What
not.
is the one piece of advice you will give her as she's growing up into this in the business world? So you've worn
I think
multiple hats across, as you said, multiple phases. What is the one piece of advice you'd want to give her?
I would say that it's very important to feel passionately about what you're doing. Otherwise, don't do it. Because if you're doing it for the sake of doing it, it's never going to bring you any joy. It's never going to be successful. And I know she's very passionate about this particular project. And as she said, it's our baby. It's actually a lot her baby in the vision sense also, you know. Sometimes I feel I'm supporting her vision. Sometimes I feel like she's supporting me. So it's a very good symbiotic
I
relationship.
mean, we wouldn't have the products if it weren't for you. So I don't think that's true.
I know. But
And
still.
What is the one piece of advice you would give your mom?
I would, and I keep telling her this, is to just keep being as like curious as she is and keep doing things the way she is and keeping herself mentally stimulated. Because sometimes when she says, I just want to chill now, and when she's in a bad mood and there's too much work and at 60 you're making me work, I don't think she can do that.
65.
65.
Coming on to.
I don't think she can do that. I think she needs to keep herself busy and stimulated. I think she thrives in that environment, and I think she needs to keep doing that like till she really, really can't. You know,
Yeah,
I think that
in the middle, I was like very, very upset that I couldn't continue learning Sanskrit because that was one project I had started. But you know, that requires a different kind of mind space because I'm very into Sanskrit as a language because I want to understand the
Scriptures.
Gita and the scriptures in Sanskrit, maybe not as a scholar, but at least because there are many interpretations
Correct.
of a particular verse.
But you can do
if
your
you
passion
understand
side by
certain
side.
words. Yeah, but I can't because, as I told you, I can't do it. When I had started doing this, my 3/4 of my day used to be dedicated to this.
No,
And
but
I was
I
only
feel like
enjoying.
this is something that like I've seen her thrive in these environments, and when sometimes she cribs about it, but the fact that what's great about her is that she's so curious that she always, it keeps her young. She like learns so much along the way and stays relevant in your words, and that keeps her young, and I think she should keep doing that.
I don't think I've met too many 65-year-olds who are conversant with
Mid-journey.
mid-journey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
my
have
FOMO
played with
talking.
it, but yeah.
That's my FOMO talking. I cannot bear to be left behind.
But she
and not
loves
know.
it. She loves it.
Have you played with Nano Banana? Have you
No.
told her what Nano Banana
I
is?
know what Nano Banana is.
You don't.
No, she's not.
You don't know Nano Banana
No.
is? Oh my god!
What is Nano
Now
Banana?
I'm judging you.
What is Nano Banana?
It is Google's latest. Now I'll show you.
I-
Google.
This
Gemini,
now I
Gemini.
have seen everything. So
The mother schooling
the mother is schooling.
The other day-
65-year-old mother schooling the
The other
36
day
Oh my.
I was doing something and she randomly points her phone at me and says, "Mom, what did you work on today?" And she's filming me, okay? So I'm telling her that, ChatGPT is teaching me to write mid-journey prompts correctly with the right kind of nuances and, say V6 if you want, the latest version, and this kind, Q something if you want, how realistic you want the image to be. And she's filming all this, okay? And then, so I asked ChatGPT, what do these abbreviations mean? And it told me, like, let's get you more tech savvy. And then I went, now I'm tech savvy. And she actually let her put this whole thing
got
up
such a
on
good
Instagram.
response.
100%.
Yeah.
And then it's
100%.
like, make mom the clown, at the drop of a
Clown,
hat.
it's very
Not a
cool.
clown
I
is
don't
the
know any.
coolest
I'm
thing
so
ever.
not as well versed with all of this stuff. Like I don't even use ChatGPT as much as I should, but she's so good at it, and everyone like laps up content of her. I keep putting her in up front and center
Yeah, they
because
put me in these little shades and make me like this spice mama, spouting wisdom. And I feel
Y'all
like such a
really
does
need
well.
to double down on the mother-daughter duo.
I know.
I think that's such a unique twist that is not there in the industry today. So I've seen a lot of father-daughters. I've seen a lot of, not a lot, but mother-sons,
also.
husband-wives. I think that's the most common
Yeah.
when it comes to relatives, brothers, sisters. I've seen that, but mother-daughter is very rare. So if you're not doubling down, you're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
You're right.
Both of you, thank you so much for taking out the time and coming on Breaking the Ceiling. The reason I started this whole podcast was there are so many people out there who have aspirations and dreams to do stuff in the food space, but I saw that there was no place for them to learn from people who are already doing it, learn what to do, what not to do. Like, I don't think our life is too short that we don't need to make all the mistakes by ourselves. So I'm a very big believer in mentorship, right? And I think a podcast is a great way to get that information, hopefully within an hour, and disseminate it to people. So anyone, like most of the people who listen in, would be doing it because they want to start a business, or they're already in the food business and they want to learn from other people in the business. And of course, we have listeners who just love the content, right? Just interesting thoughts, interesting ideas, right? But thank you so much for taking out the time and coming here. I'm a huge fan of your product, and I'm always excited to see what Hotcha does next.
Thank you
so much.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
having us. We've had a great
Yeah, it's
time and
been
love
great
the
chatting
whole
with you.
love the whole platform and property that you've created. Very cool.
Thank you so much.